right. Well, another big move happened in the NFL, and Matt Stafford, he's headed to LA, and the Detroit Lions will receive a first round pick in 2022, a first round pick in 2023, a third round pick in 2021, and quarterback Jared Goff. Michael, who won this trade?
I think the I think so the Rams I think definitely got better because they got an experienced quarterback who I think could help them win more games. But I also think the Lions also got a good deal because they got a younger quarterback who still is pretty good, and they also got a bunch of draft picks that they could use. So I think if I had to pick, I would say the Lions probably won the trade, but I think they both kind of evened out.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. A lot of people said, oh, the Lions fleeced the Rams. You know, Matt Stafford is just Matt Stafford, and he hasn't won a playoff game, and he's just this mediocre quarterback. Matt Stafford's a great quarterback. And I mean, the reason why he never won a playoff game was because he was held hostage in Detroit. I mean, his best receiver and his number one man, Calvin Johnson, just basically gave up on him and retired. So, but Matt Stafford was able to do it. I think one year he threw for 5,000 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 8 picks, and wasn't invited to the Pro Bowl. I mean, that just goes to show you that no one really knows how good Matt Stafford is because he plays for the Lions. He's held hostage there. And the only time people see him is on Thanksgiving because they barely play on primetime games. So he reminds me a lot of an Archie Manning. He's better than Archie Manning, but not a lot of people knew how good Archie Manning was because he was with the Saints when they were really bad in the 70s. But anyways, I think to be honest with you, I think both teams won this trade because both teams got what they wanted out of it. Now, the Lions did get Jared Goff. Not sure if he's their future. If I was the Lions, I would probably trade Goff to get a quarterback this year. But it seems like Motor City Dan Campbell, he really likes Jared Goff. So we'll see what happens. But again, I think both teams won this trade because the Rams got Matt Stafford and they get basically better. That was the only thing holding them back. And I definitely think they can win 12 or 13 games next year and possibly go to the Super Bowl and have it for the second straight year where a team hosts the Super Bowl and also plays in it. So that's interesting. And then I think the Lions got what they wanted: draft picks and a young quarterback. What should the Rams do next now that they have Stafford, Michael?
I think just building around him is the biggest thing because they already got a solid coach. McVay. I think that's the other thing too is that I think McVay can also help develop Matt Stafford and do even a better quarterback like he did with Goff. So I think they just need to kind of build around him a little bit more, maybe get a little bit better on defense.
Um, I the I mean, this is an interesting question, but the Rams, they have a great defense. I think they don't really need to touch it because Aaron Donald, they have Jalen Ramsey, I mean, their defense is stacked, but I do think they might need to add one or two more weapons for Stafford. Their running game might need alternates. Well, no, they got Cam Akers, so I think their running game is solid right now. I do think they need to add one or two more receivers. How about just add Kenny Galladay? Or not a lot of people are talking about this, but maybe Calvin Johnson comes out of retirement to play for the Rams. Again, I think the Lions still owe his contract, so I don't think they're going to want to trade him to the Rams, but you never know what happens. But I mean, he does have Cooper Kupp there, Josh Reynolds and Robert Woods, Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee as tight ends, but I do think they need to upgrade a little bit. But man, that Rams team could be the top team. And you can imagine the NFC West, Michael. That division could
Mm-hmm.
have that division could send all four teams now with seven teams qualifying for the playoffs. Could you see a scenario where all the NFC West teams make it to the postseason next year?
Not really, just because I think there's also other good teams in the NFC. The NFC South is pretty good. Saints, Bucks. I could see maybe two teams from the NFC North making it, and the NFC East is the NFC East. No, no, that's just not no.
Yeah, no,
But
the
I think
NFC.
at least
Oh, sorry.
you're good. I think at least two teams will for sure make it, and then if like an NFC South team or like an NFC North team doesn't make it, then maybe they can get three. I just don't think all four are going to happen.
Well, I mean, the Niners are the only team right now that has the disadvantage because they don't have a quarterback. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is not the guy, obviously. So the Niners better make a move for Deshaun Watson or a quarterback in the draft, or they could be finding themselves in the bottom dwelling division for a while because if you don't have a quarterback in that division, you're probably not even going to sniff the playoffs. I mean, you look at that quarterback: Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, and then you have Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think the 49ers are in a very good situation at all. Do you have any more comments on that, Michael?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, do you see the Rams making it to the Super Bowl next year?
Uh, they have a good shot at it for sure, but they're again, the NFC South or the NFC in general is still pretty good. It's not as like good as it was a couple years ago. I think it's kind of balanced out, but I still think there's a lot of good teams in that. So I think they definitely have a shot. But again, I think Seattle's could potentially give them a run. I think the Saints, the Bucks, if the Vikings get a quarterback, I think they could maybe do it. Packers, there's just a lot of good teams. So
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I do believe the Rams will make it to the Super Bowl next year. I think they do end up winning the NFC West, and I think they're the top team in the NFL. And back-to-back years where the team who plays in the Super Bowl also hosts. I mean, that just makes sense. So we'll see what happens. But do you have an early Super Bowl prediction for next year, Michael?
uh, I would probably say as of now, I do think the Rams probably had the best shot at making the Super Bowl, and then I want to say Rams and Chiefs or
Oh, boy.
Rams and Ravens, I think is most likely. Or uh I think the Bills could also be like kind of like a
Yeah.
sleeper underdog too if they can get some better if they can get better this offseason. I think they definitely have a shot too. They're still a good team. They just have some uh holes they need to fill, but they're not a bad team, so I could see them maybe giving the Chiefs a run.
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be the Rams and Ravens. I would love to see that Super Bowl. I just don't know if there's going to be any fans because I feel like the pandemic is still going to be raging on, or at least in California. So I would love to see the Rams and Ravens. That's my prediction. I mean, I would love to see it, but I think I truly predict that the Rams and Ravens will play in the Super Bowl in next year. So that'll be definitely exciting. Thanks for listening to the Sports Town podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications.